Hello everyone! Today we're going to be testing out the new Angstrom lubes. We have Gravitas and Dignitas, and what I want to see is how they'll respond on two cubes. First we have a stock GTS2, and then I'm going to be testing it out on the Boron GTS2M. So let's go ahead and see how it works. So for this testing, this is basically all the stuff I'm going to be using to set up these cubes. First, I'm going to test it on this GTS2. This is nearly stock, except if you remember, I used this cube in my Lubicle Black testing video. So this cube already has Lubicle Black in it, and I'm not going to be putting more in. But I am going to be putting Lubicle Black in the Boron cube. I'm also going to be putting the Dignitas on the pieces, the Gravitas on the tracks, and then I'm also going to be putting some DNM37 on the pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to try and mimic the setup of this cube, which is the Angstrom GTS2M, and I'm going to try and get the Boron cube to feel kind of the same. So I'm going to start out with some of the Angstrom lubes and then add DNM37 as I see necessary. So I do want to put both of these in, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the Gravitas. Alright, so I've got some Gravitas here, and I'm just going to put it like in the track here. I don't want to put too much in because I know it's on the thicker side. So I put a bit of the Gravitas on the tracks, and I'm going to break it in a bit. So I can tell that it's definitely slower at the moment. So let's go ahead and try out some of this thinner stuff on the pieces, and that is the Dignitas. Alright, so as you can see, there's still some of that Gravitas residue, as it should be on the pieces there, but I'm going to put some of the Dignitas like on the pieces, on the contact points here. Oop, that might be a bit too much. I'm also going to put some inside the cube. I'm going to put some finishing touches on this lube, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, well I finished setting up these two puzzles, and so first I'll go over the unstickered one. So I ended up putting a bit of Gravitas and Dignitas in here, and it seemed like it was at a good speed for me, so I didn't end up adding any DNM37. That said, this cube got a lot smoother, and a lot more controllable since when I started, because when I started it didn't have any lube in it. Let's take a listen at the way it turns. And now for the Boron. I was a bit nervous that I was going to mess this up, but the Boron turned out so well. I took it all apart, I lubed all the screws with Lubicle Black, and that sped up the core a lot. I put Gravitas on like 4 of the edges and Dignitas on 2 of the other edges, and then I worked it all in. And it was a tiny bit slow, so I put in 1 drop of DNM37, and this thing turned out really well. I'm not sure how it'll do after I break it in, but it's very, very smooth and quiet as of now. And in comparison with the Angstrom GTS2. So as you can hear, it's slightly quieter on the Boron version, which is to be expected. Overall, in my opinion, I like the Boron version better. Now, unfortunately, this isn't available for sale, but the polymer cubes will be coming out soon, and hopefully they'll have a similar effect. The main reason I like this is because it's basically set up the same way, except I find that the one that I set up is slightly more controllable. The Angstrom one is super duper fast, and I like slightly slower puzzles. Also, the fact that it's Boron treated just kind of gives it an edge for me. So overall, I would definitely recommend the Angstrom lubes. I think they're very effective, and I think you could even use them like individually. If you like slightly slower cubes, just load up on Gravitas. It's just very smooth. If you like slightly faster cubes, I might go with the Dignitas, but I personally prefer the combination of them both. So that's about all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.